Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Tuesday night. A little retro 80s music action coming at you. That is courtesy of the Anarchy Motorsports Series, choosing their soundtrack to their race each and every week. And tonight, they want to bring one wild night here at Charlotte. 125 laps of Gen 6 race action coming up your way here this evening. We are going to go to the Star Spangled Banner when we come back. Got a lot to talk about tonight with this series and what they've got going on. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back.
Are you ready? Showtime. One, two, three, four. More bang for your buck.
Tonight, the Gen 6 cars take on Charlotte Motor Speedway. 125 laps of Wounded Warrior Cup Series action. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I'm Dustin Caldwell, bringing the play-by-play announcing here at this racetrack this evening. Anarchy Motorsports Series back in action with race number 15 tonight. 125 laps as mentioned. Drivers are finishing up here. Cameras tonight brought to you by Eckstein Cameras. Ryan Eckstein doing an excellent job putting together some nice wall camera packages for us. And the epic 80s tunes that you're hearing tonight while the drivers go qualifying, it was chosen by Kevin Trzynski in the Anarchy Motorsports Series League as the tunage that they wanted to hear tonight. So while the drivers are set to go qualifying, we'll have the music playing here in the background, talking about the standings and where everybody is at. Coming into tonight, Dalton Baldwin, safe last week, considering the issues at Kentucky in the All-Star race. But tonight, he'll be back in action as your series point leader. Glenn Murphy Jr. in the 48 car is in second, just 7 points behind Baldwin. In third is Chris Ostrander. The Turtle Ostrander will be there, just 13 points behind your series points leader. Philip Neese back there in fourth. Clay Dildine rounding out your top five. Thomas Conheady, Mike Springer, Stuart Joyce, Craig Embry, and John Ollis are your top 10 in the series coming into Charlotte this evening. Some race information for you on the screen. Charlotte Motor Speedway, the 1.5 mile track, 4 turns. Air temperature 72 degrees. We got 67% humidity. Mostly cloudy sky and 72 degrees down there on the pavement this evening. Again, folks, 125 laps on the docket tonight to see who's going to continue on. Will Dalton Baldwin be able to hold on to that lead? Right now, he has got the fast qualifying time. And it looks like Dylan Landry making his debut in the All-Star race last week. Looks to be one of the guys. He's the second fast qualifier tonight, followed by Tim Sandelin. Just got a few more cars out there on the track. Conheady, Nice out there on the track as we see Philip Nice making his way around. Again, folks, this is the Wounded Warrior Cup Series here at Charlotte Motor Speedway this evening. Coming up tomorrow night, we're going to be on the iRacing Live portal with the Championship Racing Association, the CRA Modified Madness Tour. You're going to find 2 types of modified cars on the track at USA International in that league. It'll be the Tour Modifieds and the SK Modifieds. 2 different classes will be battling out, and I'm telling you, we got about 10 in each class, so it's going to be one heck of a race. You want to tune in tomorrow night on the iRacing Live portal, or even here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network's YouTube page. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can always find us on the web as well at forgebroadcasting.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/digitalforgebroadcasting. Just a few more moments remaining in qualifying. One of the other drivers out there on the track, the 67 of Cameron Hearn, looks like he comes to a stop just outside of turn 2. Will return to the pits. And it looks like Stuart Joyce and that Bounty, that quicker picker-upper Cheetah Ford Fusion, is one of the last drivers out there on the track as we're seeing him head into turn number 3 now. Trying to put down his best time this evening. Currently, he's sitting back in 22nd position. And as he comes through the first turn, still looks like he's going to be up there. So we'll see what he does this time around, coming out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Can this Bounty Ford Fusion pick up a top 10 at least? Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. He looked like he was slowing up, may have gotten a little tight. He's going to come to a stop right at the start-finish line. Just enough to make an appearance in front of the wall camera. And he gains actually 1 position, moves up to 21st. So Stephen Landry, I'm told it's a possible relation to Dylan Landry, so the Landry brothers up in the top 3 with a Dalton Baldwin in the middle. What is going to happen here tonight? Again, folks, appreciate you tuning in this Tuesday night. Some things coming up next month in the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network schedule. We have the Precision Racing League that'll be broadcasted on Thursday nights. Their Formula Renault 2.0 series, road course 9-race series. You want to catch that if you want to see some road race action here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. And their Sunday Night Truck League will also be broadcasted. Looks like qualifying has come to a conclusion. We are ready to go down to the grid and show you where your drivers are at here this evening. As the drivers make their way out of the pits onto the grid. Just waiting on our pole sitter here, folks. And as we take a look down on the pole, there he is tonight. Your pole sitter. The 84 of Stephen Landry, the New England driver in that Wrangler Camry, will be starting out on the pole. The number 4 of Dalton Baldwin had enough time to squeak by the Florida driver in your series points leader in that Children's Dream Racer Toyota Camry. Will be starting in 2nd position. To the inside lane of that 2nd row as we take a look, it looks like it's the number 59. Going to go with the 59 of Dylan Landry, starting behind his brother. Another New England driver there, third position in that Under Armour Chevrolet. To the outside of him, Mr. Cameron Hearn in that Peachtree Chevrolet. This Carolina driver starts fourth. Rounding out your top five tonight, the 24 of Clay Dildine in that Jeff Gordon DuPont tribute car, the Chevrolet there. To the outside of him, the number 9 car. That is, my software works with me here, folks. We're trying to get it to you. Tim Sandel in there, the Valvoline Chevrolet Texas driver starts sixth. Looking back to the inside of the next row, that number 1 car, and I say 1, but I actually mean 7. That is Thomas Conhead. He's starting in 7th position. So the New York driver having a little bit of luck on his side, and he's also got Nationwide on his side in that Chevrolet. To the outside, that 38 car of Philip Neese will be starting in 8th position. The Mid-South driver in his Ford Fusion pulls off the grid. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. As things get detached, so is our hopes of getting you a top 10 for the grid here tonight. So do apologize. Limitations of software, but that is all right. So Stephen Landry to set the pace here tonight. Here they come down the back straightaway. Again, folks, 125 laps of Gen 6 race action here this evening. Special shout out to Jeff Wood tuning in here through the YouTube chat. And the Interleague Championship Racing Series coming up Friday nights, folks. 3 different leagues, 3 different vehicles, 5 different tracks in a 15-race series. You got to tune in for that. That's some incredible racing. Last week it was at Atlanta. This week at Kansas. Race number 3 this Friday night at 10 p.m. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Pace car into the pits.
Green, green, green.
Green flags in the air, and here we go. As they battle into turn number 1, Landry and Baldwin and Hearn are your top 4. As you can see, the 24 of Clay Dildine back there in 5th position as the battle for 3rd, or 4th position, well 5th, yeah, excuse me. As the battle for 3rd position comes out of turn number 4, the 67 of Cameron Hearn to the outside. Here they come down the front stretch towards turn number 1. Cameron Hearn trying to get around Dylan Landry, a 59 car, and look who gets loose. Stephen Landry, your pole sitter tonight, gets loose, and he's fallen back in a hurry, back to 7th, now 8th position as Chris Ostrander goes by him to the outside, and he's back there now with Rob Haynes in the 95 car. Cameron Hearn now battles Dalton Baldwin for the race lead as they come out of the front stretch through turns 1 and 2. And Baldwin's got the high side. He looks like he's going to have the lead coming out of turn number 2, and he will take it to the high side. And the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, your race leader here on lap number 4. 67 of Hearn, ready to get back to that race lead as he was fighting hard for it. And the battle between Hearn and Baldwin continues. Out of turn number 2. Let's jump back to 6th position. It's Philip Neese, Chris Ostrander, and Stephen Landry. And that 84 battle through turn number 3. What a crossover move by Landry to the downside, or inside of the 38 of Philip Neese as they work their way out of turn number 4. Here they come down the front stretch, and that 84 car, your pole sitter tonight, after getting loose in turn number 2 on lap number 2, is ready to go, and Philip Neese is going to snap. And he's going to hit the wall just before the entrance to turn number 2. So he is now falling back to 14th position in a hurry. Cameron Hearn had some issues as well, looked a little tight. And the 84 of Stephen Landry moves into 5th position just ahead of him here on lap number 6. So that gives Dalton Baldwin clearance for the race lead here in lap number 7. Has a 1.2 second lead over the 59 of Dylan Landry. As you can see, he's out there all by his lonesome. There is your second place driver, the 59 of Dylan Landry. The All-Star race winner last week in Kentucky out of turn number 4 has the 24 of Clay Dildine behind him. Here they come down the front stretch towards turn number 1 here in lap number 8. Single file line beginning to happen here, folks. Everybody working their way in the groove, and you can see the 67 of Cameron Hearn approaching the 84 of Stephen Landry down that back straightaway. Will he have enough to make a pass to the inside of turn number 3? And it doesn't look like he's going to press the issues. Going to save some tires here out of turn number 4. Will be behind the 84 of Landry. Looking to the outside as he go to turn number 1. Landry's going to dive it deep into turns 1 and 2. And that is going to send everybody around. Both Hearn and Ostrander go around, and so does Rob Haynes, the 84 of Stephen Landry. Still misjudging the first couple turns. Look to dive it in there like a street stock. You see the 38 of Philip Neese down there having some issues with that car. The Ford Fusion making his way down pit road early on in this race here on lap number 10. Dalton Baldwin out by his lonesome. Florida driver here tonight started to the outside of that first row, and look at him go. The one driver here tonight, the guy that started to his inside on the pole, Stephen Landry in that 84 car, misjudged turns 1 and 2, and it shows. Stephen Landry back there in 9th position currently running as we see him come down the front stretch into turn number 1, just behind Glenn Murphy Jr. If he's in a place that he wants to be, it's behind this 48 car. If he works with that 48 car, these guys are going to go far. Glenn Murphy Jr., one of these drivers you'll find later half of the race, will sneak up and find his way to the front. So make sure you keep your eye on the 48 car here this evening, folks. Ostrander now to the inside of Sandelin. Here he goes through the start-finish line into lap number 12, and what a move by the 73 car, and a little bit of looseness there from Haynes. Canadian driver who started 9th is now back in 10th position. The 95 of Rob Haynes getting a little bit tight to the low side. Front end looked like it was going to come around on the rear end. Let's see how he does here in the turns that plagued him one lap ago. Sandelin rallying back though. Take a look at that 9 car. That 9 Valvoline Chevrolet, Tim Sandelin. Around the outside of Glenn Murphy Jr. picks up 6th position here on lap number 13. Behind the 73 of Chris Ostrander. Here they go through turns 3 and 4. Tricky turn number 4, and Stephen Landry now has a nice side-by-side battle with Thomas Conheady, but will pick up the position there, 8th position. Almost a 3-wide bout, and Haynes again into the wall. Falls back one more position as the 51 of Ryan Cobb, one of the contenders in the in the All-Star race last week in Kentucky, did really well. Had some late race issues now to the inside of Thomas Conheady as they come down the front stretch. Cobb in that University of Central Florida car, the Knights cars. You see the black and gold working the lower groove of turns 1 and 2. Landry is looking pretty conservative here as he was your pole sitter and leading a first lap before he misjudged that first set of turns. And now finds himself in a nice little pack battle here with Ryan Cobb and Conheady behind him. Thomas Conheady looks to the inside as they come down the front stretch. That red 84 car of Stephen Landry. Brother Dylan Landry up there in 3rd position. The 59 behind the 24 of Clay Dildine as they work their way down the backstretch towards turn number 3. As you can see, that 59 of Landry works that lower groove. Will he have enough? Here they come down the front stretch. Dylan Landry looks to the inside, and it may have been Clay Dildine that'll have the position. And it looks like Tyler Blanchard, the 30 car, may have gotten involved in some incidents. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. So as we follow the 30 of Blanchard through turns 1 and 2, he's going to get into the wall and just spin out. No contact with any other drivers. He does get down to the apron safely, but that was enough for race control to bring out the caution flag. Let's back it up one more time and give you an in-car view. So here he is out of turn number 4. See some damage on the right side of the hood of his car. You can hear those tires working through the first set of turns here. Right there out of the exit of turn 2, he's going to get loose. And that's enough to bring out the first caution of the night. See drivers making their way down pit road for the first set of pit stops here on lap number 19. There is the view down the pit road, the 84 of Stephen Landry, hoping to pick up some good time as the right side of that car comes up for 2 tires. Here we go. It's going to be a nice battle off of pit road. Who's going to make it? Everybody comes screaming. Dalton Baldwin nearly making some contact. Wow, what a battle off of pit road. And it's just heating up tonight, folks. Just heating up tonight in the first 20 laps of this race. So Clay Dildine was able to beat Dalton Baldwin off of pit road without a little bit of controversy. We'll see how things play out. We'll take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some more race action for you, folks. This is the Wounded Warrior Cup Series and the Anarchy Motorsports Series this Tuesday night. More race to come. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Charlotte Motor Speedway this Tuesday night as the Wounded Warrior Cup Series is getting ready to go back green. Clay Dildine and Dalton Baldwin with a heck of a battle off of Pit Road. And it will be the 24 of Dildine to set the pace once that pace car dives into the pits. Here we go through turn number 4. Pace car will be set to go into the pits. There it goes. The green flag's back in the air and we're underway. As they make their way down to the first turn, Clay Dildine leading the pack around. Dalton Baldwin gaining quick until the turn 2. And now Dylan Landry is making some moves, but here comes the 67 of Cameron Hearn coming up quick to the 59. One point I got to mention, folks, I was corrected while we were at commercial break. Landry's are not brothers, they are cousins. So Dylan and Steve Landry are cousins. Appreciate the Honorable Kevin Trzynski behind the scenes letting me know about that. So we see Stephen Landry, your pole setter here tonight, to the outside of Chris Ostrander, approaching the 48 of Glenn Murphy Jr. Tim Sandelin back there as well. Sandelin currently running 9th position, so the 9 is in 9th. As they come down the front stretch to the start-finish line into lap 25. Clay Dildine and Dalton Baldwin battling hard for the race lead. Look at the choice of grooves. And it looks like the high one is going to pay off for the 24 of Clay Dildine as he comes screaming down the backstretch towards turn number 3. And Baldwin's going to dive it deep into 4, and they're going to meet in the middle. Look at the battle up front as we take you down closer to show you that race action. Dildine and Baldwin still continuing with a little bit of Landry on the low side. Dylan Landry now squeaking by Dalton Baldwin. So the 59 of Landry's able to get around Dalton Baldwin and take over 2nd position. Here they come down the front stretch. Working their way into turns 1 and 2. Glenn Murphy Jr. now on the move as we see that 48 car come out of turn number 2 into the back straightaway. Started 20th on the grid here tonight. His fast lap 27.74. Now if we think about that, 27.74. We go back and take a look here in 13th position. Your pole sitter in almost a 3-wide battle as they come down the front stretch into lap 28. 27.73 was his fast lap time here tonight. It just tells you how competitive this field is.
Caution is out.
Caution flag comes out. And John Ailes slowing up. Not seeing any damage there, or Ailes, Aliz. Let's go back and take a look here at the 14 live wire car. So just ahead of the action, and not able to see who that was. So we look through the field. That's who it was. A new guy on the field, Tyler Popp. We go back one more time and let's go in car. We're here with Popp and see exactly what happened. The inside of Stuart Joyce, a little contact, and that was all it took. Oh, what a hard hit to the inside. Coming across, he's going to trail back down. And I think John Joyce got a little bit loose in the action. So contact with Stuart Joyce, got the number 20 car of Tyler Popp loose enough to bring out the next caution here tonight. So Stuart Joyce takes over the race lead. He's going to stay out while the rest of the drivers made their way down pit road. Let's see if we can bring in the Double Deuce here and get an interview with you. Good old Stuart Joyce here. We're going to see if we can get him on the line for you folks. Stuart Joyce, this is Dustin Caldwell. Are you there?
I'm right here, buddy.
Well, lap number 30, you're in the race lead. Staying out this time. What's the decision here, folks? Tell the audience.
Well, we got 7-8 green flag laps here on these tires. I was in last place back there, kind of hanging out with the squirrels, and I was feeling a little uncomfortable with the action, so I decided to stay out and get up front here. Hopefully I don't get passed too hard, too quick, and can stay in the top 10 until next opportunity to take tires.
Well, coming off the All-Star Week, did you have a blast at Kentucky?
Well, you know, Kentucky's not my track for an all-star race, but it was a decent time. There was a lot of fireworks there. I generally, all-star races tend to breed that sort of action anyway, regardless of what money's on the line and where it's at. But it was exciting, I think, to watch, probably.
All right. Well, you come in tonight 8th in points, and you're currently leading, so I guess you got yourself in a good position at this point in time. Is there any shout out you want to give while we got you on the line?
Yeah, just want to give a shout out to the AMS members and the AMS staff and all the hard work that they put in to make this league possible. Appreciate everything, and happy Memorial Day.
All right. Well, thanks so much for your time, Stuart. Best of luck to you in the laps ahead, bud.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
There is the Bounty Quicker Picker-Upper Bounty Cheetah car, the Ford Fusion of Stuart Joyce, out to the front as the lights of that pace car come off. Going to be going back green on lap number 33. Again, folks, tonight this is the Wounded Warrior Cup Series, the Anarchy Motorsports Series. If you wanted to know more about these guys and what they got a truck league on Monday nights and a IndyCar league on Wednesday nights. You can find them on the web at amsleague.com. Or if you're an iRacing driver and you want to know more, you can find them in the iRacing directory, Anarchy Motorsports Series, right there at the bottom of your screen. Jonathan Schwartz will try to use the Schwartz, the 58 car, to the outside of Stuart Joyce. Or excuse me, flip-flop. Joyce is going to choose the outside lane, going back to green as they work their way into turn number 4. Landry and Dildine behind the front row. Here we go, pace car into the pits.
Green flag.
The green flag flies, lap 33 underway. As they work their way towards turn number 1, a look at the battle back there with Ostrander. Nearly 3 wide action. Dalton Baldwin and Glenn Murphy Jr. Tim Sandelin now looks to the inside of the 4 car down the back straightaway towards turn number 3. That Valvoline Chevrolet to the inside hugs that white line through turn number 3. And we'll fan it out just a little bit for turn number 4. Look at the battle up front. As now the Jonathan Schwartz car, the number 58 car, takes the race lead, and Dylan Landry is ready to challenge him. Some more 3 wide action back there with the Ostrander and company. As Baldwin was to the outside, Murphy Jr. to the inside. Murphy Jr. now falls back to 7th position. Ostrander battling hard up there for a top 5 slot. Baldwin to the high side of Dildine as they come out of turn number 4 with some more side-by-side race action. Stuart Joyce there solidly in 3rd position, has a side-by-side battle behind him between Baldwin and Dildine. And they both are going to try to take Joyce to the inside. And Dildine now moves up ahead of Stuart Joyce. So Clay Dildine in the 24 car into 3rd position here on lap number 36. The 22 of Stuart Joyce to the outside of Dalton Baldwin out of turn number 4. The number 4 car now picks up 4th position. Can I get another number 4? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the casino. As now Dalton Baldwin looks to the inside of the 24. Oh, and some contact!
All right, man.
Oh, wow. Do we have a major pileup? Starting with Schwartz and Landry out of turn number 2. We need to go back and take a look. We'll follow Jonathan Schwartz here. So here they are down the front stretch. Let's see what happens in turn 1 and 2. As Landry may have tried to make an inside pass through turn number 2. It looks like that's just what happened. Wow. So Dylan Landry got into the back. It looked like the 58 car just got a little tight into turn number 2, and Landry, whose car now looks like a modified, got into the back of him. Let's go back and take a look yet again here, folks. We'll show you the in-car perspective from Landry, Dylan Landry, the 59 car. You can just see the slight contact getting that 58 of Schwartz loose, so the 59 to the 58, and then that just ensues all the chaos down this back straightaway. Wow. One more time for you. So as they come across the front stretch, one more time, just right here, you're going to see the contact between Dylan Landry into the back of Jonathan Schwartz, and that Code 3 Chevrolet is going to have its rear end come right around on him, and he's going to try to save it right in front of the 59 of Dylan Landry. As we pan the camera out just a little bit for you, there you can see Dalton Baldwin trying to anticipate where things were going is going to end up into the back of Dylan Landry, getting him loose and himself loose as well. Stuart Joyce is going to make contact there with Dalton Baldwin. Chris Ostrander, is he going to be able to snake through it all? Can he get away? No, he's going to hit the 58 of Jonathan Schwartz. 50 of Michael Tant to the low side. Rob Haynes there is able to squeak by. The 93 car up to the high side is able to get by. And look at all that carnage down there. No, that's the pain of Charlotte. No place to go for a lot of these drivers. And sometimes you just go through another guy. We see even down there on, if you look on the apron, the 84 there of Stephen Landry, cousin to Dylan. We take you in just a little bit closer. Look at all that. 319 has a lot of damage. That's Steve Dutz. Tim Sandlin got thrown around a little bit. You can see that 16 car. And that may have taken out a lot of drivers tonight. We had a total, looking through, about 32, 33 drivers show up tonight. So Chris Ostrander up front. Looks like John Ollis is going to get a wave around here in the lucky dog position. If that's Ollis. No, it's a 20 car. Do apologize. Tyler Popp, one of the newer drivers, making his debut here in the Anarchy Motorsports Series. We'll get the wave around. So Ostrander, Dildine, Haynes, and Tant will be your front four when we go back green on lap number 42. A little bit of race statistics for you as they come down the back stretch. 40 laps now in the books, 6 lead changes, 3 total cautions here tonight. Pace car will be set to go into the pits, and it will be Chris Ostrander who chooses the inside lane to take us back to the race. Pace car now into the pits as they approach the front stretch.
Green flag.
Green flags back in the air, and look at Michael Tant go. He swung to the outside pretty quick. Three wide out of turn number 2. Into the first couple turns they go, and as we see,
All right, man, caution is out.
another
Caution is out.
caution flag. And wow, Schwartz in it again with Joyce. Tyler Pop, the 20 car getting the wave around, will be the outside in safety. Let's go back and take a look at and see what happened here once again with Schwartz. So it looks like, oh my goodness. So Schwartz not the cause of it, the 77 car. That is Mason Rogers is going to have some contact. Let's go back and take a look at this one. Getting used to this new replay splash screen tonight, getting the use out of it. As we follow the 77 of Mason Rogers out of turn number 4. Sandelin going to be to the low side. They're going to have some contact here. And a little, it looks like a netcode bump is what got him loose from Thomas Conheady. He's going to in turn spin Sandelin. They are going to go sailing up to the wall. And wow, the 93 car is just going to get collected. Brian Bloom is going to go airborne. Take a look at that. Wow, does he go for a ride. And even the 77 of Rogers is going to go for a ride. You can see the sparks fly there in turn number 2. Hey, and take a look. There's John Aliz. Live wire with a little bit of ARCA brake action to the side of Brian Bloom. As much damage he has, it's a little insult to the injury. And you can see the car slide down the bank. And wow. Let's go back and take a look one more time from Brian Bloom's perspective. We'll get you an in-car view there. So here comes the restart. First lap, I should say after the restart. Conheady in front of Bloom here. Philip Neese to the inside. Sandelin up there. So here comes the netcode bump from Conheady into Rogers. And look at that. That is just amazing to see that that guy was able to survive that. One more time. We got to take a look at this one more time. The air time that Brian Bloom got. Wow. So Chris Ostrander still leads it, folks. Going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some more race action for you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Pace car coming out of turn number 2. Lights are off. This is the Wounded Warrior Cup Series, the Anarchy Motorsports Series this Tuesday night. Chris Ostrander chooses the inside lane. The number 4 of Dalton Baldwin to the outside as they work their way into turn number 3. It'll be lap number 48 when they go back green. Pace car into the pits.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flags in the air, and we are back to the race. Out of the front stretch towards turn number 1 goes the 4 of Dalton Baldwin to the race lead. The 73 of Ostrander back in second position. The 24 of Clay Dildine in third. And Baldwin now extends his lead to 0.33 seconds over the 73 of Ostrander. Taking a look behind, the 24 of Dildine back in fourth position. The 51 of Ryan Cobb has the 67 of Cameron Hearn in fifth position behind him, and he's going to start to come quick as those tires will warm up for that 67 car. Behind Cameron Hearn is the 95 of Rob Haynes, the number 50 of Michael Tant. Behind Haynes in seventh position. And it looks to be the 20 of Tyler Popp involved in this one. A lot of damage down there on that car. There's an old saying in race terminology, folks. Cautions breed cautions. We've had 3 consecutive cautions now. Very uncommon for this series, mind you. Following the 20 of Tyler Popp, new driver in the series. And it was Thomas Conheady in the 7 car coming down. Don't know if a front left tire just went down on him. Let's go back and take a look one more time. So out of turn number 4, Nationwide Chevrolet of Thomas Conheady into turn number 1. He's just going to get loose and comes down into Tyler Popp. A lot of damage, and Brian Bloom, who suffered a lot of damage in the last caution, and even Mason Rogers hits the 7 car before he comes to a rest on the apron right inside turn number 2. One more time for you, folks. Give you an in-car perspective, just giving you all aspects of this caution. So you can hear the tires start to stress in turn 1, and he just goes right around, and there's the contact with Pop. And wow, does he just go for a spin. Mason Rogers, a little bit at the end there. And he comes to a rest just outside of turn number 2. So Dalton Baldwin, the number 4 Children's Dream Racer Toyota Camry, up to the race lead here on lap number 52. See some of the drivers making their way down pit road. Stuart Joyce back up to the front. See if we can get a driver interview here with Dalton Baldwin as he makes his way into the first couple of turns. Dalton Baldwin, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. Are you there?
I got you.
Well, what a night it's been so far. I tell you, we take a look at the summary statistics. 5 total cautions tonight out of the 52 laps completed, 7 lead changes. You find yourself up front currently. Tell us, what's your strategy for this evening?
Just go fast. It's hard to really have a strategy sometimes in these races. You kind of play out different strategies in your head as the race goes on, but I'm just trying to stay out front and stay in the lead and hopefully keep everyone behind me.
Coming in tonight, off of that fun week at Kentucky for the All-Star race, find yourself 7 points ahead of Glenn Murphy Jr. for the series points lead. Does that put any pressure on you coming back to races that actually have points on the line?
Not really, especially since we have the chase coming up here. You know, I mean, the real thing that matters right now is just winning these races. So it definitely, to get the bonus points to go into the chase with a win is a lot of pressure to get that from guys like Chris and Cameron and all them.
All right, is there any quick shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Yeah, check out Children's Dream Racer. Make a donation, please. And thanks to everyone for watching.
All right, Dalton, thank you much for your time, and best of luck to you in the laps ahead.
All right, thanks, bud.
There you have it, folks. So number 4 of Dalton Baldwin. A little bit of words here about tonight's race. Your series points leader coming into tonight has a lot of work to do as we still have some laps to cover. 54 out of 125 to be in the books. It'll be lap number 55 when we go back to the green. Baldwin will be to the inside of Stuart Joyce, Ostrander, and Hearn will be behind him. Pace car will be set to go into the pits. Through turn number 4 they go. Pace car into the pits.
Green flag, green
Green
flag.
flag's back in the air, and here we go. And as they work their way into turns 1 and 2, take a look at this monumental lead that the 4 of Dalton Baldwin has over Stuart Joyce. 0.7 of a second coming out of turn number 2. And he's climbing down that back straightaway up to 3/4 of a second lead into turn number 3. The number 4 of Dalton Baldwin, your series points leader, and it shows. But here comes that 67 of Cameron Hearn to the outside of Stuart Joyce. As they cross the start-finish line, working their way into turn number 1. It's a great battle up here in the top 10. Side-by-side battle now between Hearn and Joyce for second position. Dildine and Ostrander battle for 3rd and 4th. Hearn now works his way into second position down the back straightaway here on lap 57. To the inside, looking a little loose as Ostrander is going to push a little high in turn 4. That's going to give Dildine a possible chance. Ryan Cobb back there, the 51 car behind the 24 of Dildine. Into turn number 1 they go. Still a good battle here with Dildine and Ostrander, but Ostrander takes the high line and it pays off. As now Ryan Cobb looks to the inside of Clay Dildine. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Take a look at Chris Ostrander. He's going to make an inside move on Stuart Joyce coming out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. They're going to work their way across the start-finish line into lap number 58, and that 73 car moves into 3rd position. But look out, here comes the 51 of Ryan Cobb to the inside. He's got a side-by-side battle behind him. Joyce to the outside of Dildine down the back straightaway. Now the 25 car that we see here tonight. It looks like Shaquille O'Ray is the name of that gentleman, and I am not making that up, folks. That orange 25 is Shaquille O'Ray. Throw the driver information up there just so you can believe me. This Carolina driver started 24th, currently in 7th position here on lap number 60. And Dildine has to check up a little bit, and that's going to allow O'Ray to go by to the inside. Stuart Joyce holding off the 24 of Dildine. Dildine's going to go to the inside as they cross the start-finish line into turn number 1. That 24 DuPont Chevrolet to the inside of the 73 of Chris Ostrander. As they go through turn number 2, Joyce is going to push high. That lets Shaquille O'Ray, the 25 orange car down there, to the inside of that Bounty Ford Fusion, pick up a position. So O'Ray now moves to 6th position here on lap 61, or going into lap 61. Back up to the race lead, Cameron Hearn just got around the 4 of Dalton Baldwin, and it's an epic battle for the race lead. Dalton Baldwin's not ready to give it up, as he's seen that Cameron Hearn, one of the guys that needs these points tonight, and take a look at that. He climbs away from Baldwin. If you thought that Dalton Baldwin already had an epic lead over the rest of the field, it's just that much more with the 67 of Cameron Hearn. 0.3 of a second lead over the 4 of Dalton Baldwin going into lap number 63 into turn number 1. Take a look at that. He's going to run the high line through turns 1 and 2. Maintaining that 0.3 of a second lead. Let's jump back to 3rd. The 51 of Ryan Cobb now has a nice sizable lead. 0.7 of a second lead over the 24 of Clay Dildine, as Dildine's back there in the 4th and trying to fend off the 73 of Chris Ostrander as they come down the front stretch. O'Ray, that's Shaquille O'Ray, back there in 7th position behind Chris Ostrander. And now Stuart Joyce looks to the inside of the 25 car. Not able to make a move. Here comes the 50 of Michael Tant in a hurry in that Napa Know-How Chevrolet. Back in 8th position, looks to be able to make a pass on Stuart Joyce. Ostrander has the 25 of O'Ray to the outside of him. Out of turn number 4 they come down the front stretch. And O'Ray may have made some contact with that wall, but it does not affect him. Ostrander is going to have the line into turns 1 and 2. But he comes rallying back. The 25 car, and they nearly make some contact. Out of turn number 2, and a screaming 25 car of Shaquille O'Ray takes over 5th position commandedly. And now take a look at this battle up front. Dalton Baldwin and Ryan Cobb battle for 2nd position here on lap 66. Baldwin's going to run the lower line. Cobb's going to come down to the inside with a crossover move out of turn number 2. And Ryan Cobb in that University of Central Florida Knights 51 car takes over 2nd position. But wait, there's more. The 25 or 24 of Clay Dildine passes Dalton Baldwin. So Dalton Baldwin in a hurry falls from 2nd to 4th. And once again, the 4th is in 4th position. Or the number 4 is in 4th position. Cobb still continues to run the lower line through turns 1 and 2. Still has a nice little lead, a 0.15 second lead over Clay Dildine, but he's coming in a hurry. And take a look at this, folks. The 67 of Cameron Hearn, 1.25 second lead over that 51 of Ryan Cobb, your race leader, going into lap number 68. Into turn number 1, still continues to run the high line, his preferred groove tonight, and it shows it's working through these turns. Cobb still trying to fend off the 24 of Dildine as they come down the back straightaway. Clay Dildine now, a little contact. He wasn't trying to pass, he was trying to let Cobb know that he's there. And mission accomplished, Clay Dildine. Here they come down the front stretch. Take a look at the side-by-side battle with Dalton Baldwin and Shaquille O'Reilly, a guy who passed Chris Ostrander on the outside, now takes Dalton Baldwin to the inside, and O'Reilly is looking to take over 4th position here on lap number 69. Some great racing here tonight once we got those cautions out of the way. Some good green flag racing, knock on wood, find your lucky rabbit's foot, folks. Let's hope it stays this way. Michael Tant to the outside of Chris Ostrander coming out of turn number 4. What a beautiful pass that Napa car did as he takes over 6th position. So Clay Dildine now to the outside of Ryan Cobb takes over 2nd position here on lap 70. Cobb's going to fall back quick, fast, and in a hurry. And what a battle out of turn number 4. Cobb is going to go into the pits as well as Baldwin. And the battle down pit road between Cobb and Baldwin. Let's see what happens. Baldwin fans out. Oh, a little crossover move. So Dalton Baldwin comes down to his pit stall. And a heartbreak thing right there you see, folks, between Dalton Baldwin, folks. The 84 and the 59. Landry Cousins, Steve Landry, the 84, your pole sitter here tonight. The 59 of Dylan Landry, last week's winner in the All-Star race, are down there on pit road, and it looks like they are going to be out of it here this evening. What a battle coming off. Cobb ready to battle the 4 of Baldwin as they make their way off of pit road. And take a look who has the race lead now. Shaquille O'Reilly. This Carolina driver needs to get down pit road quick, fast, and in a hurry if he wants to have the same strategy as the rest of the drivers. But it looks like he's going to pick up his first lap lead of the evening. Taking a look at the most laps led tonight, you have to give it to Dalton Baldwin with a total of 29 laps led. The 24 of Clay Dildine has 14. Cameron Hearn has 10. Chris Ostrander 9. And Stuart Joyce 4. Jonathan Schwartz, the 58 car that got involved in a couple of cautions, who's now put his car in the hauler, has 3 laps led. Stephen Landry, your pole sitter tonight, 2. And tied with him is this guy right here, the 20 of Shaquille, or 25, excuse me, of Shaquille O'Reilly. Michael Tant back there in 2nd position. Top 5 as it shows while we are under pinning action. So O'Reilly back, or Shaquille Ray, I should call him, thinking of Shaquille O'Neal, hence he has O in his name, but we'll just call him Shaquille Ray. How's that? So Ray up front in first, Michael Tant, Chris Ostrander, Robert Haynes, and Philip Neese rounding out your top 5. Summary statistics so far out of the 74 laps completed. 10 lead changes, folks. 10 lead changes, 5 total cautions. So as we continue to follow the 50 of Michael Tant, the 73 of Chris Ostrander now. One of the guys in 9 laps led for this Florida driver had a fast lap time, 27.93, hitting about 194 down that back straightaway before he slows up into turn number 3. About a second and a half behind the race leader, and he's still continuing to stay out. So he's got a different pit strategy than the rest of the front of the field. Started 11th here tonight, currently sitting in 3rd position. And right behind him, oh, Dalton Baldwin and Cameron Hearn. Boy, did they use, oh, Philip Neese,
right,
not too happy. And Cameron Hearn, that may be all she wrote for that 67 here tonight. Wow, and take a look at the front end damage. Let's go back and take a look at that. Boy, did they use Philip Neese as a guard to get around turns 1 and 2. Baldwin trying to swim through traffic. So as we take a look down closer, I'm going to slow this up for you. So you're going to see right here, Dalton Baldwin is just going to get by Philip Neese. Cameron Hearn's going to try to thread the needle on the inside, flirts with that apron, and in doing so, he's going to bring the rear end around on him just a little bit. See Baldwin as Nice begins to climb the contour coming out of turn number 2. Baldwin will be around him. Hearn's going to come up into him after getting loose right into the side of Nice, and I'm sure Nice wasn't too happy about that. There's some contact there, and Nice just kind of turns it a little bit, and around goes Cameron Hearn in that Peachtree Chevrolet number 67. And in doing so, takes both Haynes and Nice, and take a look at that airtime. Wow. Front end already off of that car before it even hits the ground. Gotta love the iRacing graphics on that. And inside over side boy, Rob Haynes. Don't even know if he sees the car flipping to the side of him. Haynes is going to hit the wall pretty hard here, driver's side, left side of the car, and come back. Look at the sparks fly on that 67 of Cameron Hearn. Wow. So as we go back, let's show you the in-car perspective here from Cameron Hearn. So here's where they're going to thread Philip Nice. Baldwin's going to go to the high side. Out of turn number 4, down the front stretch. You can see Hearn was battling with Baldwin at this point. See Baldwin coming around to the high side. And here's where they tried to thread the needle. He gets loose, saves it, but in doing so, right there, wow. And that was some serious airtime there for that 67. And you can tell Philip Nice, a little animosity there. Not too happy with Cameron Hearn. A little aftermath peg down pit road. So Chris, the Turtle Ostrander, the number 73 car, out to the race lead with 46 laps to go. We're going to take another short commercial break, folks. When we come back, we'll have some more race action for you. This is the Wounded Warrior Cup Series this Tuesday night. Appreciate you tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network to catch the Anarchy Motorsports Series in action. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
AMSLeague.com is the premier iRacing league for action-packed racing from green to checkered. Prepare yourself to start every week right with the AMSLeague.com Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series, Tuesday nights at 9:20 Eastern Time, right here exclusively on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. You will not find a better connected oval league and community in the iRacing service. AMSLeague.com provides the highest level of competitive racing while holding true to our Have Fun First motto. Prepare yourself for the best Tuesday night oval racing on Sim Racing Earth at AMSLeague.com. Also, check out our Monday Night Truck Series and Wednesday IndyCar Series. And remember, you can watch all of our Wounded Warrior Project Cup Series races live, right here on the Digital Forge Racing Network. AMSLeague.com. A premier iRacing league with a great group of drivers.
welcome back to Charlotte this Tuesday night. 40 laps remain and counting as the 73 of Chris Ostrander leads the pack out of turn number 4. Taking a look at the last caution that we had, folks, between Philip Neese and Cameron Hearn. It was a good 27-lap green flag run. It was lap 76 that caution flag came out. Previous one on lap 49. Brian Bloom now to the outside of Stuart Joyce. Thought about making a move there to the inside of Shaquille Ray. Decided to check up. And now Joyce looks to move to the inside. And Ostrander having some issues. And Bloom is going to make some contact. Cobb takes over the race lead. Bloom to the outside of Ray out of turn number 4. Who's going to have second position? And there it is again tonight, folks. Caution breeding caution. Michael Tant and Tim Sandlin are going to get into it just a little bit. Let's go back and take a look at this replay. So following that 50 Napa car, watch the 50 and the 9. Dalton Baldwin ahead of Michael Tant. See Chris Ostrander down there on the apron coming back onto the track. And Dildine is going to get into McMahon. So David McMahon and Clay Dildine having a little bit of controversy there. So we'll have to go back and take a look. The Dr. Pepper 23 car of David McMahon got turned by Clay Dildine. See the 24 there of Clay Dildine as we bring you down just a little bit closer in the action. As they work their way in, you're going to see right here just enough to get that 23 car loose, and he's going to try to push him down onto the apron, get him out of his way, but in doing so, he gets himself loose, picks up some front-end damage, and Stuart Joyce, nice little arc of brake action to the back of Clay Dildine. One car pushes the 2. The 23 of McMahon is going to be shoved up into the wall. Take a look at that. Wow. So there's the 23 of David McMahon, Clay Dildine, and Michael Tant, where Tim Sandlin comes into Tant on the right side. Sandlin in that Valvoline Chevrolet is going to come to a stop using that 50 car. So Ryan Cobb in the race lead here with 35 remaining. Going to see if we can get a driver interview with Ryan Cobb as we look to get him on the line here for you folks. We'll take you down inside his car. Ryan Cobb, this is Dustin Caldwell. You there?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, you find yourself up front with 35 to go and counting. How do you feel about tonight's race?
I feel like it's been a little bit of a crazy atmosphere out there. The setup's not great this week, but we're just trying to manage lots of wrecks, so we're going to keep it up there and give it a best shot for the end here.
Did you have any expectations coming off the All-Star race at Kentucky?
No, man, just got that racing bug again. Gonna probably, again, I'll do some race directing for some of the races, but this is having a fun time out here right now. It's a lot of close racing, good racing. Wish we could still cut down on some of the wrecks, but it's getting better every week.
All right, any last-minute shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Shout out to all my teammates out there, and let's have a good, clean last 35 laps.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate your time. Best of luck to you in the remainder of the race.
Thank you.
There you have it, folks. The 51 of Ryan Cobb, the Florida driver, who started 22nd as the cars now get waved around. Lights come off that pace car. Shaquille Ray to the inside. Gonna bring Kevin Trzynski. Gonna bring Kevin Trzynski into the booth with me here for a moment. Stand by, Kevin, here as we're about to go back green. We're gonna get some words from the guy who had some mechanical problems here early on in the race. But as we take a look, Ray is to the inside of Cobb. Cobb chooses the outside in that UCF Chevrolet car as they come down the back stretch towards turn number 3. It will be 33 remaining in tonight's race. Let's take a look at the summary statistics. 91 laps completed, 14 lead changes, 7 total cautions here tonight. Pace car takes him into 3, and Cobb really slowing up off the pace. Pace car now into 4, folks. Get ready. We're going to go back green. Pace car into the pits.
Green flag.
Green flags in the air, and here we go. 33 laps remaining. As they battle down towards turn number 1, Ryan Cobb trying to hold off the 25 of Shaquille Ray. Ray's going to come to the inside of Cobb. Out of turn number 2, Ray is making his way up to the rear quarter panel of Ryan Cobb. And he's going to settle up towards turn number 3. Everything's settled down. Dalton Baldwin on the move, though, towards Shaquille Ray. Ray's going to look to the inside. But I got Kevin Trzynski in the booth with me here tonight, folks. And tell us, Kevin, what were some of the issues that you had plagued coming into Charlotte?
Are you talking about me in general or the race itself?
You can talk about whatever you like. What the reason why you're not on the track tonight?
I had some mechanical failure in my pedals. I think the circuit board is overheating, and it causes my pedals not to function the correct way. So I decided to take the car to the garage and not pull on the track and cause mayhem.
So unfortunately, you're not able to feel the grid as we watch Dalton Baldwin pass the outside of Shaquille Ray. Tell us, you've raced against Dalton Baldwin. What's it like being against?
Caution is out.
Before we do that, we have got another caution here tonight. And as we look through the field to see who might have brought this caution out, I think it might have been a debris call, because I'm not seeing any cars out there damaged. Let's take a look. Follow John Joyce. Seemed like he was moving kind of slow.
Thomas Conheady.
So there we see, backing it up just a little bit, and got an extra set of eyes with me in the booth. It does help out, so. So we back it up just a little bit. Behind Brian Bloom, the 7 of Thomas Conheady, the gray and white. The number 7 car comes down the front stretch. A little bit of connection issues there with John Joyce. Joyce is going to actually get up into the wall and come down and tag Conheady. Conheady's not able to recover. Tim Sandlin's going to squeak barely by, and that's going to send the 7 car down to the apron. And he tries to get it all back underway and stops on the track. And that's going to bring out the caution flag. So we'll bring you back just a little bit, Kevin, but we got some things to take care of here, so stand by in just a little bit. Let's go back and take a look yet again here with the 7 of Thomas Conheady. We're going to take you down inside the camera. Inside the car. It would probably help if I hit the right button. Good grief. So right there behind Brian Bloom. Keep your eye on that 66 car of John Joyce. Stuart Joyce's father. For you factoids out there. Actually, because we doubled up on it, we went back one lap. I do apologize for that. So here we go, out of turn number 4, right behind Brian Bloom. Thomas Conheady's going to come down the front stretch to the inside. You're going to start to see John Joyce. There's the connection issue right there on that Ford Fusion. The Castrol GTX car up into the wall. Comes down into Thomas Conheady, and around he goes. He's not able to, trying to save it. Sandlin, you can see there, squeaks by. That 9 Valvoline car goes to the inside, and Conheady, you can tell he's not too happy. Felt like he got cheated. Drives back out onto the track to get race control's attention, which brings out the caution flag of another caution flag here tonight. My computer's giving me a little bit of fits here, folks, but there is Chris Ostrander with the race lead. See if we can get Chris Ostrander on the line. 73 car finds himself back up to the front. See if we can get a little interview with him. Chris Ostrander, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. Are you there?
Dan 4, how's it going, Dustin?
Well, you find yourself back up to the race lead here tonight. Total of 21 laps led, about to pick up 22 here under the yellow. Tell us how the car's handling here at Charlotte.
Oh, very, very tight. I stayed out. We didn't have that many laps on the tires. I figured there's going to be another caution, and I'll have the opportunity to pit and take some fresh tires then, but it's very tight. As you've seen earlier in the race, a lot of people pitted early, like halfway through a fuel run, just because it was so tight, and the fall off is terrible.
Well, it's going to be 25 to go when we go back to the green. Do you think you got what it takes to make it all the way to the checkered?
Not on these tires, I don't. So, like I said.
So at least one pit stop in the works there for the 73 car. All right, as you come down the back straightaway, Chris, best of luck to you in the remainder of the laps. Appreciate your time, bud.
Thank you.
There you have it, folks. Chris Ostrander, also known as Turtle Ostrander, picked up that nickname in Martinsville when his car went up on the roof, tires up in the air. It's a racing term, they call it being turtled, like a turtle on its shell. You'll have Dalton Baldwin to the outside, who's on a fresher set of tires. Pace car through 4 is set to go into the pits. And there it goes. Ostrander, Baldwin up front.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. Here we go. 25 laps remaining in the race tonight. As they go down towards turn number 1, Ryan Cobb shoots right out of pit road onto the track. You have to catch that at the lower part of your screen, but the 73 of Ostrander still continuing to lead the race with 24 to go down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Dalton Baldwin approaching, and you can see the 73 slowing up. May have been thought about going to the pits, but with the approaching number 4 of Baldwin, wasn't going to make that move. A Chase Elliott move if you watch the All-Star race. Holding everybody up, trying to get down pit road, and Shaquille Ray is going to get loose. He's able to save it. Cameron Hearn now makes his way back out onto the track. McMahon's going to go to the outside there of Ray. Ray, who is in 3rd position, is going to fall back to 7th here with 23 to go. So Dalton Baldwin takes the race lead away from Chris Ostrander with 22 to go. Ostrander to the high side. He's got to get into the pits. When will he make his pit stop? He's still got a competitive car, though. Look him come out of turn number 2 to the inside of Dalton Baldwin. He's got the faster car down the back straightaway, and I believe he's on Baldwin's on fresher tires. So if that tells you how fast this 73 car is working tonight, folks, he's going to challenge back for the race lead coming down the front stretch. Looks like Baldwin will hang on to the race lead with 21 to go. Brian Bloom is pushing to the high side of turn number 2 as they come out. He's going to stay with the wall. That 93 car involved in a couple incidents here tonight. Amazingly found his way back to the top 5, currently running 3rd, now battling for 2nd as he's going to try to approach Chris Ostrander to the outside, coming out of turn number 4. Down the front stretch they go. And Ostrander into turns 1 and 2. You start to see the degradation of those tires take effect as now the 93 of Bloom approaches from the rear pretty quick as Baldwin pulls away to almost a half a second lead. When will the 73 of Ostrander make it down pit road? Cameron Hearn, well, call that a speeding penalty. He wasn't too happy. So we see Hearn down there, the 67 car behind Dylan Landry in his pit box, is going to go for another quick pit stop. We follow the 4 of Baldwin down the backstretch towards turn number 3. 19 laps remain here in tonight's race. Bloom able to get around Ostrander. Ostrander yet to go down pit road. Time's a ticking in a 1.5 mile track. He's got to time it perfectly if he wants to have a chance at winning tonight. Michael Tan in that Napa Know-How Chevrolet back there behind Chris Ostrander down the backstretch. Towards turn number 3 has his co-partner behind him, the 9 of Tim Sandelin. These guys have found each other in races more often than not, and tonight actually got into one another. The result of a caution, but Shaquille Ray, this guy, the Carolina driver, making his debut in the league tonight in such good fashion. Has 6 total laps led. Not bad for a guy who started 24th and currently running 6th position with 17 to go. As we continue to follow these guys through. See if we can get our pole sitter on the line here, as I know his car's down there being loaded into the hauler. Possibly. He's still down there on pit road. Steve Landry, this is Dustin Caldwell. You there? Looking for the 84 of Steve Landry. You there? Not able to get a hold of Steve Landry. May have stepped away for just a bit. Oh, and Shaquille Ray's going to get a little loose again. He's able to save it once again. Currently in 6th, but here comes David McMahon in a hurry to the inside. Going to go right around the 25 car. And it may be time for a full set of tires on that 25 car of Shaquille Ray. Up to the race lead with 14 to go now. Dalton Baldwin has a 1 1/4 second lead over the 93 of Brian Bloom. Out of turn number 2, Bloom in the 93 Ford Fusion comes barreling down the straightaway. Sandelin got around Tan while we were trying to get a hold of your pole sitter tonight. Figure out what happened with his car and what made him decide to park it. Ostrander still hanging on by a thread with 13 laps remaining. The 9 of Tim Sandlin in that Valvoline Chevrolet going to look to the inside of turns 1 and 2 behind Ostrander. Tant kind of settled down in 5th position. I think these guys are just pretty much worn out at this point. Had a great race last week. A few different events, 3 segments to their All-Star race in Kentucky. And now Tim Sandlin to the inside of Ostrander. Ostrander pushed towards the wall. He's got to get into the pits, folks, as we have 12 laps remaining. And Ostrander going to scrape some paint off of Sandelin. Sandelin has to go down just a little bit, and Ostrander comes rallying back past Sandelin down the back straightaway. Takes back 3rd position. As we see Bloom come out of turn number 4. Solid in 2nd position, just 2 2/3 rather. Ahead of him is the 4 of Dalton Baldwin out there all by his lonesome. He has a little bit of damage on his car, but that doesn't seem to affect him Dalton Baldwin, your series points leader coming into tonight, and Ostrander still continues to stay out there, and why not? If his car is good enough to hold on to third position with 10 laps remaining, it may be able to go to the distance to finish a top 5 at least. Shaquille Ray out of turn number 2. Had gotten just a little bit loose a few laps ago. Was down to 7th and has rallied back to 5th and has looked to take away 4th position from Michael Tan. Coming out of turn number 4, he's going to keep it low. He's to the side of Tan. He's going to go around him. And at the start-finish line, he'll pick up 4th position from the 50 of Michael Tan and still continues to climb away, but don't count him out just yet. Sandelin, guy who's bounced all through the top 5 here in the last 5 laps. Currently running in 6th position. Just 2 laps ago, Tant was behind him. So it tells you these guys are starting to fight. We got 9 laps remaining, now 8. And Dalton Baldwin, take a look at that. Baldwin is just now coming out of turn number 2. Bloom into turn number 2. Ostrander now has Ray behind him. Shaquille Ray in the 25 is going to look to take Chris Ostrander. He's going to set him up for an outside pass possibly. Try to work the inside. I know he's going to go for an outside pass. This 25 car. Look at that. Takes the high groove through turns 1 and 2. And here comes Shaquille Ray. Passing Chris Ostrander on the outside. Something you don't see a lot of like that. And Ray moves up to 3rd position with 7 laps remaining. So Ostrander from 1st to 4th with 6 laps remaining. Continues to work the lower groove through turns 1 and 2. Michael Tant now wants a piece of the action to pick up 4th position and swap, putting Ostrander in the top 5 and 5th position. Here comes the 50 of Tant, setting up for an inside pass, but the block will take place. Ostrander blocks Tant in 4. Will he have what it takes, folks? Michael Tant and that Napa Chevrolet. Will he be able to get around the 73 of Chris Ostrander? Ostrander's going to pick up a little bit of gap, but here comes Tant, rallying back out of turn number 2. Looks like they are settled up. Ladies and gentlemen, making his way out of turn number 4, your race leader. It's going to be 4 laps to go. Dalton Baldwin, the number 4, 4 laps remaining, ran 4th position for a while. I tell you what, go out and buy a lottery ticket, put a 4 on it, and if you win, I'll tell you what, that'll be a lucky day for you. I won't even ask to claim part of the prize for giving you the idea. But as many 4s have we seen here tonight, somewhere a 4 is going to have to ring a bell for somebody, and hopefully it pays out big. Dalton Baldwin crosses the start-finish line. 3 laps now remain for that Children's Dream Racer Toyota Camry. Behind him, Brian Bloom, Shaquille Ray, and now Cameron Hearn. But Cameron Hearn is laps down, 39 to be exact. Is just throwing himself into the mix right in front of Michael Tant. Here comes Baldwin out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Next time by, it will be the white flag as 2 laps remain here in the race tonight. Total of 51 laps led for that number 4 car. Down the back straightaway he goes. Into turn number 4, out of turn number 4. Down the front stretch, ladies and gentlemen, the white flag is in the air. 1 more laps remain for this number 4 car. Dalton Baldwin in that Toyota Camry, the Children's Dream Racer car, comes down the back straightaway. Here he goes through turns 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4 into the front stretch to the checkered flag. Dalton Baldwin takes victory here in Charlotte. And take a look who finished in second position tonight, Shaquille Ray, the guy who made his debut here in the Anarchy Motorsports Series League. Started 24th, led 6 laps. And he finishes second at the start-finish line. Brian Bloom is going to be swapped to third. So let's go back and take a look just real quick. As we have a little bit of controversy showing Ray in third, but Race Control says second. So let's see what happened here. So right there was the pass to the outside. So as we take a look, clearly Shaquille Ray in the Auto Trader Ford Fusion number 25 car is going to get around Brian Bloom and take second position away at the last moment. What a race it was here tonight, folks. We're going to get a driver interview here with the third place finisher, Brian Bloom. As it was 2 Fords actually battling it out for second position. And Brian, tonight you find yourself finishing in third. Tell us a little bit about the race tonight as we take a look at the race statistics. It was a total of 8 cautions tonight, 16 lead changes in this 125 lap event at Charlotte. How did your car handle through all of that?
The car handled pretty good. Getting off to the start seemed like I could get up to speed a little bit quicker than most guys. Unfortunately, the car just kind of fall off through the run. Definitely a crazy race. Seemed like there was a lot more than 8 cautions, but we survived.
You're able to pick up. What happened on that last lap that allowed Shaquille Ray to get by you?
I just drove into 1 and 2 a little too hard, and then going down the back straightaway, it was real close, and he just kept bumping off my my left rear, so I ended up having to let him go, so we didn't get wrecked there on the final lap.
All right, well, what a race it was here tonight, coming off of that All-Star weekend last weekend. You come in tonight in style, be able to finish third position. Is there any shout-out you'd like to give for your third-place finish?
I'd like to thank everyone for watching the race, and thanks to AMS for putting this on and let us have a place to race every week.
All right, well, we'll see you next week, Brian, when we go into Pocono.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.
There you have it, folks. The 93 of Brian Bloom in that Ford Fusion car coming in third position here tonight. We got to give it up to this guy right here. We're gonna pull in Mr. Shaquille Ray coming in second position in such style. For a guy who started so deep in the field, you had 6 laps led here tonight, and what a move in that last lap to get around the 93 of Brian Bloom. Tell us how you feel and how your car handled tonight, Shaquille.
I feel pretty good. It was a good race. My car handled like crap, but it was still a good race. I made a good finish out of it.
And you really drove the wheels off of that 25 Auto Trader car. Was this, now, if I'm not mistaken, and because I've been broadcasting with these guys, I haven't seen your name before. Was this your debut race here at Charlotte with the league?
Yes, it is. My first race.
All right, and you've made an impact, quite an impact to say. Can we expect to see you next week going into Pocono?
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right, is there any shout-out you'd like to give tonight for your second place finish?
I want to thank AOR Motorsports for hiring me, and that's it.
All right, well, we'll see you next week into Pocono, and congratulations on your debut race and making a runner-up finish here at Charlotte.
Thank you.
There you have it, folks. Shaquille Ray coming in second position in that 25 Auto Trader Ford Fusion. What a race it was for him. Started 22nd, 6 laps led, and finished as runner-up. What a night. Talk about digging through the field. But we got to go to the All-Star, the series points leader coming in tonight. What a move it was from Dalton Baldwin to take over that race lead, and that Children's Dream Racer Toyota Camry number 4 car finds its way back to victory lane here tonight in Charlotte. And Dalton, you got to be happy about it, especially with the chase just right around the corner. Tell us how you feel.
Definitely feel great, because I feel like I've had a little bit of bad luck in some of these races here recently, so get a win, just 2 races here before the chase is nice. It's definitely a momentum booster. So hopefully we can carry that into next week and into the chase, and definitely get some more wins and get the championship, hopefully.
I believe you pick up win number 9 of the series, if I'm not mistaken. Taking a look at the statistics, I think you pick up win number 9 tonight. So a lot of momentum going in. You were 7 points ahead of Glenn Murphy Jr., and he's not going to finish in the relative top 10, maybe even top 20 to say the least. So I think he's going to finish about 24th here tonight. So you're going to pick up a little bit of gap between you and him going into Pocono next week. What can we expect from that 4-car?
I'm just gonna really try, and Pocono's not one of my best tracks. Typically, we run good there, but not always one of the dominant cars. So hopefully, I can just go there, get a run in the top 5, and have a shot at getting a win at the end of the race. Otherwise, it's just hopefully maybe keeping. Anyone like Clay, Cameron, Craig, any of those guys from getting the win and getting those bonus points going into the chase.
All right. Well, you take victory here in Charlotte. We got Pocono next week and the chase in 2 weeks. Is there any shout-outs you want to give tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank, Children's Dream Racer for doing all they do. Definitely give them a look, give them a donation if you can. Thank Advanced Auto Parts and Breed G Products. They help us out with our real-life racing stuff. And, AMS League does a great job putting all this on. You do a great job broadcasting. And thank everyone for watching.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week at the Tricky Triangle, Dalton.
All right. Thanks, bud.
There you have it, folks. The Toyota Camry Children's Dreams Racer number 4 car of Dalton Baldwin makes its way to victory lane 9th time in this series, but that to be next week will be decided. We got the chase series starting, or the chase begins. The top 15 drivers will be moving on come June 7th when it starts. I believe they're calling it the Fago 200 at Michigan International Speedway. Again, it's June 7th. That's when the top 15 will battle out. But we got Pocono next week, 70 laps at the Tricky Triangle, coming up on the 31st of May, so you definitely want to tune in for that. A lot of great racing taking place here tonight. So much that I got choked up on my words there. But let's take a look at the final results before we get out of here for tonight. Dalton Baldwin, Shaquille Ray. What a spectacular drive from that 25 car tonight. The 93 of Brian Bloom, Michael Tant, and Chris Ostrander rounding out your top 5. Tim Sandelin, David McMahon, John Ollis, Thomas Conheady, John Joyce rounding out your top 10. Ryan Cobb, Rob Haynes, Clay Dildine, Stuart Joyce, Cameron Hearn, Lance Carpenter, Philip Neese, Mason Rogers, Jonathan Schwartz, Stephen Landry through 20. Dylan Landry, Glenn Murphy Jr., Steve Dutz, Tyler Pop, Justin Page, Tyler Blanchard, Sean P. O'Brien, I'm going to take it, Nick Dykstra III, Vern Bradley, Kevin Trzynski. See, starting with Dykstra, Vern Bradley, Kevin Trzynski in the crowd for autographs. Got to talk to Trzynski tonight. AJ Brissett, Jay Zolciak, also there making a celebrity appearance, and John Henry Allen showing up for momentum going into next week. Coming up tomorrow night, folks, we're going to be on the iRacing Live portal, broadcasting the CRA Championship Racing Association Modified Madness Tour. The Tour Modifieds and the SK Modifieds battle it out at USA International Speedway. You definitely want to tune in to catch that 2-class race action. Two winners will be announced at the end of that race, so we'll have to see how that will pan out tomorrow night. But that will do it for us this evening, folks. Appreciate you tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night.